Alexander Harrington stood at the altar, his jaw clenched so tightly he thought it might shatter. As the CEO of Harrington Enterprises, a multi-billion-dollar tech empire, he was used to boardroom battles and high-stakes negotiations, but nothing had prepared him for this. The air in the opulent chapel was thick with the scent of lilies and whispered secrets, and his mind raced back to how he'd ended up here. It all started with a desperate plea from his ailing grandfather, the man who had built the family fortune from nothing. "Marry her, Alex," the old man had wheezed from his hospital bed. "It's my dying wish. She's from a good family, and it'll secure our legacy." Alex had agreed, blinded by loyalty and grief, without even meeting the bride. Now, as the veiled figure approached, rumors swirled in his head, whispers from his so-called friends about her being unfortunate-looking, a plain Jane thrust upon him in some archaic arranged marriage ploy. He felt tricked, manipulated into a union that could tarnish his image and trap him in misery. His heart pounded with resentment. This was supposed to be a business merger disguised as matrimony, not a fairy tale. The ceremony dragged on like an eternity. Vows were exchanged in mechanical tones, Alex's voice flat and devoid of emotion. He glanced at the veiled woman beside him, Elena, her name was. From what little he could see, her posture was straight, almost defiant, but the heavy veil obscured everything. His mind painted a grim picture, scarred face, awkward features, a woman chosen not for love but for some hidden agenda. Why else would her family insist on this veil until the very end? As the priest pronounced them husband and wife, Alex's stomach twisted. "You may lift the veil and kiss the bride," the priest intoned. The moment of truth. With trembling hands, Alex reached out, his fingers brushing the delicate lace. He lifted it slowly, bracing for disappointment, for the confirmation of his worst fears. What he saw stole his breath away. Elena's face was not ugly, it was breathtaking. Her eyes, a deep emerald green, sparkled with intelligence and a hint of vulnerability. Her skin glowed like porcelain, framed by cascading auburn waves that had been hidden beneath the veil. A small, knowing smile played on her lips, as if she had anticipated his shock. The chapel seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them in a bubble of stunned silence. Alex's world tilted on its axis. This wasn't the frumpy bride he'd been led to believe. This was a woman of ethereal beauty, radiating confidence and grace. Whispers erupted from the guests, but Alex barely heard them. His resentment evaporated, replaced by a cocktail of confusion, relief, and an unexpected spark of attraction. As he leaned in for the kiss, their lips met softly, and in that instant, everything changed. But the story didn't end there. Oh no, that was just the beginning. Alex and Elena's marriage started on shaky ground, built on misconceptions and half-truths. As they left the chapel amid flashing cameras, Alex's high-profile status ensured the wedding was tabloid fodder. He couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. Who had spread those rumors? Why the veil? Over their honeymoon in the Maldives, a paradise of turquoise waters and white sands, Alex confronted her. Why the deception? He asked one evening as they walked along the beach, the sunset painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Elena stopped, her bare feet sinking into the sand, and turned to face him. Her eyes, those captivating green orbs, filled with unshed tears. It wasn't deception, Alex. It was protection. My family, they've always shielded me because of my past. Elena opened up then, her voice steady but laced with pain. She wasn't born into wealth like him, her family had clawed their way up from poverty. As a child, she had suffered a terrible accident, a car crash that left her with scars, not on her face, but on her body and soul. The rumors of her ugliness stemmed from old photos, manipulated by jealous rivals in her social circle who wanted to sabotage the match. Her parents, fearing Alex would back out if he knew the truth too soon, had insisted on the veil. They thought you'd see only the surface, she admitted, but I wanted you to see me, the real me, after we'd committed. No turning back. Alex listened, his heart softening. He had judged her based on hearsay, just as others had judged him for his wealth and power. For the first time, he saw beyond her beauty to the resilient woman beneath, a brilliant architect who had designed sustainable homes for underprivileged communities, someone who volunteered at orphanages and fought for environmental causes. She was relatable, grounded in a way his jet-set life had never been. Their early days were filled with challenges. Alex's demanding job kept him glued to his phone, missing dinners and anniversaries. Elena, used to independence, chafed at the isolation of his penthouse world. One night, after a particularly grueling board meeting, Alex came home to find Elena packing a suitcase. "I can't do this," she said, tears streaming down her face. "You married a Vale, not me. We're strangers." The fight that ensued was raw and emotional. Alex yelled about trust and betrayal, Elena countered with accusations of neglect and superficiality. But in the heat of it, truths emerged. Alex confessed his fear of vulnerability. Growing up in a cutthroat family, he built walls to protect himself. Elena shared her insecurities, the scars from her accident that made her feel unworthy. They sat on the floor amid scattered clothes, talking until dawn. It was their first real connection, a bridge over the chasm of misunderstanding. From there, they worked on their marriage like a project both were passionate about. Alex cut back on work hours, joining Elena on her volunteer trips. He saw her in action, building homes in rural villages, her hands dirty but her spirit alight. It inspired him. He redirected company funds toward eco-friendly initiatives, earning praise from shareholders and the public. Elena, in turn, stepped into his world, attending galas and charming investors with her wit and warmth. But deeper challenges loomed. Elena's health issues from the old accident resurfaced, a chronic pain that doctors said might prevent her from having children. The news hit them like a storm. Alex, who had always envisioned a family, grappled with disappointment. "Does this change things?" Elena asked fearfully one rainy afternoon in their living room, the city skyline blurred outside the windows. Alex took her hands, his eyes locking onto hers. "Nothing changes how I feel about you. We'll face this together." They explored options, adoption, fertility treatments, but more importantly, they leaned on each other. Elena's vulnerability drew Alex closer, and his support healed her old wounds. Their love deepened, turning from attraction to a profound bond. Friends noticed the change. Alex, once cold and calculating, now smiled genuinely, crediting Elena for his transformation. She, too, blossomed, her confidence soaring as she launched her own foundation for accident survivors. Yet, life threw one final curveball. Alex's grandfather passed away, leaving a will that revealed the true reason for the arranged marriage, a hidden clause in the family trust requiring Alex to marry someone of humble origins, to inherit fully. It was a test of character, designed to prevent the fortune from corrupting future generations. Alex felt a mix of anger and gratitude, anger at the manipulation, gratitude that it led him to Elena. They confronted the family lawyers together, Elena's hand in his, a united front. In the end, they inherited not just wealth, but a legacy of resilience. Years passed, and their story became legend in business circles. A tale of how appearances deceive and true beauty lies within. They adopted 2 children, a boy and a girl from the orphanages Elena loved, filling their home with laughter and chaos. Alex stepped down as CEO to focus on philanthropy, while Elena's designs won international awards. Their marriage, born from trickery, evolved into a beacon of hope. As the sun set on their anniversary cruise, Alex lifted a glass to Elena. To veils lifted and truths revealed, he toasted. She smiled, that same knowing smile from their wedding day. To us, she replied. Their journey proved that love isn't about perfect beginnings but about navigating storms together. It left them stronger, inspiring others to look beyond the surface, to embrace vulnerabilities, and to build connections that last. And there you have it, folks, the incredible story of Alex and Elena, where a simple lift of a veil changed everything. If this tale of love, redemption, and emotional depth touched your heart, smash that like button right now. It helps us bring more inspiring stories like this to you. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on these emotional journeys that remind us all of the power of true connection. What's your takeaway from this story? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.